Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we are meeting in my guest room slash craft room. And the reason we're doing that is because we are beginning a whole new series for the month of November. So in the month of November, we're going to do a lot of decluttering and organizing and getting ready for the new year. So for me, I don't want to wait until the last minute in December to do these types of tasks because in December, we're usually celebrating holidays and spending a lot of time at parties and with friends, and it's freezing ass cold and we don't want to be out doing things like this. I might have to go outside. I might need to take some things to a thrift store or to the dump or whatever. So I think it's really important to just try to get this type of organizing and cleaning done in the fall. So I'm actually starting this project in October, but because I know it's going to take me some time to get through each room in my home, I'm going to go ahead and film these projects, and then I will share them with you in a more condensed and easy to eat video. So I will be sharing videos all throughout the month of November about organizing, decluttering, and just creating beautiful spaces within your home. But know that it took me longer than one room per day. It's gonna take a while. I have actually won awards in organization before. That's how important organization means to me. So I love an organized space. I love categorizing things in alphabetical, numerical, and color coding as well. Something about that just soothes my soul. It helps me feel like I'm in control of my life, and it helps me to get rid of all the chaos in my mind about what is happening. Sometimes I feel like if everything's all cluttered and everything around me is kind of screaming for my attention, I can't focus and really be in the present moment because I'm constantly thinking about the thing over here instead of being in center and in the moment. So organization has always been important to me. So throughout my life, I've practiced different deep organization skills as far as like following like feng shui, which I really love using feng shui as a map, a guidance to where should I place this thing. For me, it's not hard and fast. It's not part of my culture. So I'm not claiming to know the ins and outs of feng shui. I just enjoy using it as a tool. Same with the Marie Kondo method, right? I really love that concept. I, of course, read the book front to back and back to front a few times, and I definitely implemented a lot of her concepts and philosophies. I loved the idea behind touching every single item and making a choice. If this item brings me joy, do I want this item in my life? I really love that concept. I also love the concept that she was like, putting everything in containers doesn't mean it's organized. You don't need to buy 1,000 containers to contain your things. You need to make good decisions about each one of your things and put them in a proper place. So I loved that. And there's many other methods. Currently, the big swing in the organization world is Swedish death cleaning. Now that is something I can really get behind because I do have Swedish blood in my ancestor lines, and I feel like I could really stake a claim and this cultural value of Swedish death cleaning. What is Swedish death cleaning? Oh, let me tell you. It is a concept that was coined in 2017 by Margareta Magnusson. I'm going to put her name on the screen. I'll link her book below. I have not read her book yet, but I just absolutely adore the whole concept. So the deal is you're going to go through your home and you're going to make choices based on as if you are already dead. Does that sound morbid? Well, it doesn't matter because I love it. Here's the deal. When you die, the best possible gift you can give your loved ones is to have an organized afterlife. And I've talked about this in videos before with pre-needs. If you prepay for all of your burial costs and all of however you want your body to be handled after your death, if you've already prepaid for that and it's in a contract and it's a said done deal, your family does not have to make choices about how do they want to be buried, or do they want to be buried. They don't have to make choices about where they want to be buried. If you prepay for your marker, right, you go have your headstone made and all you have to do is leave off your final date, the day that you die. Then your family doesn't have to be like, should we say that about her? Would she want that? Would she want a picture of her dog on there? Does she want a sewing machine on it? Would she like this font, or so on and so on? You make all those choices. It's a gift to your family. And this is also a gift to your family. If you have a home filled with things that you really, really love, and not very much of the stuff that's just like stuff, then your family can just easily go through there and say, this is an item that he or she very much valued, and I want to keep it because they valued it, or this has monetary value, I can sell it. Or they could very clearly and easily see that has no value and we can just get rid of it and it's fine. And I'm speaking to things like, that kitchen drawer that's full of the junk. Yeah, I know you have one. And then your child, your grandchild, your parent, somebody opens that drawer, and inside of that drawer is a velvet ring box. Ooh. They open the velvet ring box, and there is a bolt. Well, it's either an inside joke that nobody knows but you, or this bolt has some very real significance. Does it belong to the ceiling fan right above me? Is it going to fall on me? Where does this bolt belong? Yeah. Don't do that to your loved ones. Either put the bolt back, put it in the canister with all the other bolts in the garage or whatever, or get rid of the bolt, because that's just confusing, antagonizing, and scary. But I know that I'm guilty of all the bolts. So I will say that even though I absolutely love being organized, I also really enjoy just living my life. And I don't want to take the time all the time to have a perfectly together home, right? So especially in the summer, things definitely get away from me, where things just, especially this room, this guest room, if I haven't had a guest in a couple of months, believe me, this is like the most gigantic junk drawer ever. Where everything just gets piled in here. Anything that I don't want to deal with, I don't know what to do with, or it belongs in this closet but it doesn't fit anymore, it just gets piled up. All over this room, on the bed, on the desk, on the floor, just wherever. So I don't want to live like that. And, summer's over. It's time for me to get my life back under control. And I'm going to bring you along with me. This room is getting a huge overhaul because it is staying the guest room. We only have a 2-bedroom house, so one is our bedroom and one belongs to whoever comes to visit. But this closet has housed all of my craft items since I moved in here. And well, for a short period of time, my stepdaughter lived here, but after she moved out and I reclaimed this room as a guest room, I organized this closet, and it was so cute. It was Pinterest worthy how perfectly organized this closet was. But it didn't take into consideration that if I want to use the things in the closet, it wasn't real usable. So it's a disaster now. And the other part of the project is all the craft things are getting moved out of this room and I am putting them in to the studio / library that I use in the wintertime to record indoor house or indoor plant projects for this YouTube channel. Which I did a big overhaul on that last year to arrange my studio space so that I had good lighting and that I had a space to do the projects on. But that's going to get all revamped again. We're always having to like adjust, right? And that's totally fine. But the big motivator behind that is the room that my library is an addition to this house. It was originally a deck. And then it got enclosed at some point, long before I took possession of the house. But it's not sealed very well. The windows are old, so that is one problem. But it also has no heating. It has no central heating or central air through it. So I do have a like plug-in fireplace to heat the space, but I don't leave that on all the time, and there's not air circulating through there all the time, and the windows are old, so there's a lot of moisture in the air. And I have a ton of plants. It has really great lighting, so there's a ton of houseplants in that room. So there's a lot of humidity in that room, and I've been noticing over the past year that my books aren't being ruined. I'm not seeing like mildew or anything like that on them, but the pages are just a little bit wavy. And I keep like empty notebooks in there as well, and I'll open up a brand new empty notebook and it'll be not crisp. You know, it'll just be a little wavy. I don't know. What's that word? Loose? I don't know. It's got some moisture on there. And it's time to get all of those things out of there. I did pull all my pictures out a year ago and made sure that my pictures were no longer in that room. But I'm just starting to really notice like all my paperwork and all my books are being affected by the moisture and air in that room. So I am emptying this closet. I'm repainting my bookshelves and putting casters on the bottom of the bookshelves so that I could put them in this closet, and they could be side by side, and then they can move, so I could get to the back bookshelf or the front bookshelf, and they can move together or they can move separately, and I could double up my space and holding books in my closet. So this closet is going to become a library, and the guest room is going to get revamped. Yeah, so that is what we're doing with the month of November. The first 2 weeks, we're going to really be going room by room by room and organizing, cleaning, getting rid of things, all with the Swedish death cleaning method in mind. And I will share with you that my favorite way to organize spaces is to really just take everything out of the space and then put it all back, which is something that I learned from moving a million times in my life, that it's just really helpful. You just pack everything up, and then when you're going to pack, and when you're packing everything up, you're like, do I keep this? Do I not keep it? So on and so on. And then when you go to put the things back in a new space, you're like, do I really need this? Do I really want this? Does this really fit in this space? Do I really need this in this house? And that's really helpful to do. So what I practice are the 3 L's, and it's love it, leave it, and lose it. And which is just an easy way to remember the 3 biggest categories. Love it means I love it, I'm going to keep it, it's staying here. Leave it means leave it up to someone else. Give it away, take it to the Goodwill or another local thrift store, give it away to somebody that you know will actually use it. Leave it alone. It leaves my house. Most importantly, it leaves my house. And lose it means it's just trash. It's actually trash. So put it in the trash can and take it to the dump. And what I do with the leave it and the lose it is as soon as a box or bag is filled, so I put all of my leave it in a box that I pick up from like the grocery store or something, because it's not something that I need to hang on to. I could just give the thrift store this whole box full of stuff. They don't need to return my box, or, you know, if I had it in a nice tote that I might want to keep, I'm not keeping the box, not keeping the things inside the box. And then I put all the trash in an actual trash bag. And I immediately take the leave it box into my car and the trash bag out into the garage where all of our trash is until we take it to the dump. And that way it's literally out of the room, gone. It's not part of the program anymore. And then I have a keep it. And this one is a 18-gallon tote. And it does have a lid. I have a few of these. So if I need multiples for this room, I can do that and just get everything in these totes. And then as soon as the room was empty and cleaned, then I would bring the totes back in and start putting it back where I think it belongs. So now that I've talked your ear off all about how I organize things and how I am going to go about this project. Oh, what I was going to say is I'm doing this for 2 weeks on the 1st and 2nd week of November. This 3rd and 4th week of November, we're going to go through my personal organization of how I run my daily life so that I can spend time making videos, doing things that I love, having multiple jobs, spending time with my family and friends, and not feeling overwhelmed. And the way that I'm able to do that is by following a very simple practice every single day. And we will go through that in the end of this month. But for the first 2 weeks, you're going to be seeing this on November 1st, the Day of the Dead. And we are getting into Swedish death cleaning. So I hope you enjoy this series. Make sure you like it and you like this video. You subscribe to the channel. You ring the bell so that you're notified every time we post a new video. And I will say, or in the month of December, just so you know, it will be heavily focused on wintry holiday type things. And then come January, we'll go back to our regular programming of pretty garden heavy with a little smattering of graveyards. Until then, let's just get into this project. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up the camera so that you have an overall view of this room. And I'm going to empty the room first, and then I'm going to empty the closet, and then we will start bringing things back in. if I have things that are already in boxes, I'm just going to go ahead and take those straight out of the room. There's no reason to put boxes inside of the tote to put it. That's silly. There's plenty of little things to put in those totes. So you can see this is the desk that I'm not going to keep in here. It's going to go into the library. And I left the bed here, even though it is going to come up against this wall when I get the actual... I'm keeping the mattress, but I want a different bed, if that makes sense, like frame. Once I get that, it'll go up against this wall. And I've got a box of pictures and like yearbooks right there. Underneath is mostly pictures, and then up here is yearbooks. And we're gonna build a couple of shelves across this way, so I can put like 3 ring binders and all of my pictures like up in here. And then I have these 2 shelves, which I'm so excited about. I put casters on the bottom of this shelf so I can slide it in and out. And then I have another shelf behind there that's anchored to the wall. So that is super cool, and it doubles the space of how many books I can keep in here and not take up extra room. And then on the other side, I have, oops, let's just put that there so we can move this. On the other side, I have room for a filing cabinet that will also be on casters so I could roll it out, because my water heater is behind this board, which is painted with chalk board paint. And it says crafty because I used to have all my craft stuff in here, but I'll change it. I don't know. And then I have like all of my wrapping paper and ribbons and bows in this box, and ribbons in that container, and I have wrapping paper and bags and more ribbons and more wrapping paper in this container, which there's a lid somewhere. I think it's in my studio. But so I kind of have a wrapping station and all ready, and then it's not in here yet. I think that's also in my studio. I have another box like this cardboard box that just has a whole bunch of different occasions of greeting cards that I can easily access and grab when the time is right. But I'm excited that it's all like organized and ready to have all of our books and our things put away somewhere. I just need to get those shelves built. Okay, that's gonna be it for this video, because this room is taking quite a long time. It's been several days. We've been slowly going through each part, and there's just a lot of components to consider and figure out. I had to paint some shelves to add them into the closet. And of course, that took time to have the paint dry and multiple coats and all that kind of stuff. It is Halloween. I've got my witch sweatshirt on. I've got my bone. What is this thing? Clip? Right. And tomorrow I'm putting out this video, which begins our series of the Swedish death cleaning procedures. And I'm excited about it. I've been excited about it, and it's going pretty good. I'm super excited about the end goal at the end of November, when every room in my house has been thoroughly cleaned out and emptied, and then filled with only the things that I really love and that bring me joy. It is so time for all of that, and I'm so stoked about it. This room is going to continue to evolve. I want a new bed, so I was going to move this bed, rearrange the room to where I want it to be in the end, and I still might do that, but I didn't think it was a high priority. There's still a desk in here that won't stay in here. It will go into my studio, but I need to take everything out of the studio to reorganize it before I start putting things into the studio. That being said, there's a filing cabinet in the studio that's coming in here. It's actually going to go on this side of the closet. It'll fit perfectly. It's just, getting it in here and going through all those files and emptying them out and getting rid of anything that I no longer need in there. I mean, we keep, important paperwork in there, but we also have like tons of old stuff. I know that I have all of my house hunting files in there that can be gotten rid of. I can get rid of those because before we moved into this home, Spencer and I were we were really gung-ho about going to open houses and figuring out exactly what we wanted in a home. And it was one of our favorite pastimes when we were living in an apartment, is just to go to open houses and dream. And it got us to where we are today, but I don't need that's not my dream anymore. I already have the dream home. I have new dreams, and I could get rid of all that old stagnant energy that does not belong in my home anymore. So I need to go through all those files and take care of some of those things. But everything's fairly organized. I did pull all the books out of my studio, and I'm going through all of the books that I have. There are so many books, and I will share that procedure with you when we get into the library/studio. But let me just say that what's really helped me is to categorize them all and put their spines up so I could read them. And in each box represents a different category. And I really buy like 5 main categories of books. And I've already gotten rid of some because I had repeat titles. And, I could look at a box of 30 titles and they all say herb on them of some kind, like herbal design and herbal bouquets and herbal ointments and just planting with herbs and designing with herbs and I don't know, a lot of herb books. I don't need that many. I need to just narrow down the books that I'm actually going to use and reference, and then I can give the rest of them away. And Professor Google is fantastic in finding things quick, fast, and easy, way faster than an actual book at opening it up and trying to find some tidbit of information that may or may not even be in that particular book. So I'm really kind of holding on to books that are really sentimental to me, or books that I do reference over and over again. But it's a process because I love books and it's super hard for me to get rid of them. Everything else is going pretty easy. I'm like purging and getting rid of things, and it feels really great. So that is going to be it for this video. I know there was a whole lot of talking. I really appreciate you listening and hanging out with me while I get into this Swedish death cleaning project. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're inspired to do a little bit of death cleaning, Swedish death cleaning, any kind, but whatever origin you are. Death cleaning is death cleaning, preparing for our end, preparing for our loved ones to have an easier time in their grief. And in general, it just feels good. There's so many levels of dying, right? It doesn't have to necessarily be the physical death of our bodies, but the death of dreams that are already come and gone, or dreams that no longer fit who you are, or, you know, items that you've been hanging on to because you've just been carrying them from house to house to house, and they are no longer serving a purpose in your life. Those types of things can be let go, and they feel so freeing to not have all that stuff crowding our space and our minds. I'm gonna stop here, and I will see you in the next video. Happy Halloween, happy Samhain, and yeah, welcome to fall. Let's release. I will see you later. Bye.